Welcome to Baking with Agility again. Right now, I just looked over there because I'm making something for you guys to see. It's with the leftover egg yolks that I refrigerated, and I'm having it for breakfast. Essentially what it is it's just an egg sandwich, sort of. I'm not doing any meat because eggs do have protein, but I just don't want meat, so sometimes I kind of like that, even though I really love bacon and stuff like that. Sometimes it's good not to have it. So right now, what I'm going to do is after this butter was melted on medium heat, because if you do it on too high, it'll burn, and then the eggs will be gross. So then I'm cooking these 6 egg yolks, which were in the bowl that I'm putting in right now. I'll show you it in a sec. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit and put that bowl in the sink and then rinse it. So right now, since I'm not using this burner, I'm going to set it on this burner so you can see it kind of directly. So I'm just going to cook this here, and then I'm going to go over here. Let me show you. Right now in the toaster, which is right here, it's kind of cool toaster. I've got, well, it's really like a different kind of mini oven. I don't use it that much though. You could probably bake a cake in it if you wanted to. I'm toasting some whole wheat bread because I didn't have any white, and I think it's kind of good to sometimes not use white bread. So while this egg is cooking, I'm going to want it to be kind of soft. So I'm going to set it over here so then I can show you this and then put it back on the heat. So basically, over here we have the spatula for in case I need to actually flip it, because I'm going to try and toss it up like you would pancakes sometimes. And I've done it before, but sometimes, like last time I was cooking 3 eggs and there's 6 in there, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I was cooking 3 and like it just hit the side of the pan when I was flipping it, and then it was like a whole egg, not just egg yolks, and then the egg yolk just slips out. It just falls in the sink, and I always do it over a sink just to make sure if it falls, it's not like falling under the stove or something like that, because that would be under the stove top, like under the grates, because that would be really annoying to clean, and it's already hard to clean as it is. So right here, it's really simple. I'm just going to do a thick slice of red onion. It's okay with any onion you have, particularly shallot. If you have enough time, you can caramelize this, and basically what you want to do is you want to chop it up. You want to like dice it, which you would go like this. Well, this is the way I do it. This is like the fast way. This is not the way you should do it though. But if you want to, like me, if you're in a rush or you just don't want to have to do it the other way, you just break it all off from the outsides, like the skin. Then you take off the white piece, because that's really, really kind of, onions can be kind of spicy, especially red onions, and they're kind of my favorite type. So you have this, basically, and then you can just chop that up. But instead, since I'm not caramelizing, I'm just going to put it on the bread when it's done toasting. So for now, I'm going to put it on a plate. And then right now I'm going to take away all the scraps and then wrap the onion back up and put it in the fridge. But a tip about onions, once they're cut, they start to stink more and more, and the flavor intensifies, especially red onions. So if at all possible, you can make this with somebody else or for somebody else. Like use as much of the onion as you can, as quickly as you can, or it'll go, how people say it just says like it goes bad, but it just kind of gets different, and then eventually it'll go like moldy and gross, stuff like that. But that's the toaster, if you can hear it. And we're not cooking our onions, we're just putting it on top. We also have some really nice bib lettuce, which I'm just going to go like that. And then we have, since I'm using red onion instead of verdana or like a shallot, it's already kind of spicy, and I don't have that many other cheeses right now, so I'm using pepper jack cheese, which is really just cheese that they make with jalapenos and salt, like extra salt. It's really good. It's got red and green jalapenos. There really isn't a difference except the different growing stage, but you can probably just say I'm growing red jalapenos and green jalapenos. So far we have lettuce, cheese, and onion. I don't think I have tomato, but I did start to like those. I used to hate tomatoes all the time. I didn't like them. They were too, something about them, I just couldn't eat them. So basically right now, since we don't have them, but I would totally eat it if we did, I'm going to toss all of those 3 ingredients with some olive oil that we get shipped in, or my mom does, actually. Here, let me get the other thing. I'm going to use shampoo. No, I can use that. I'm going to use, let me find it, it'll take a second. I'm going for less Italian root, but if you were, you would do lots of olive oil. This isn't like a vinaigrette that I'm making, but I'm just going to put it on top of the bread to give it some extra flavor because it's really kind of a plain flavor, this whole wheat bread. So I've got champagne vinegar. You don't actually have to have this really any vinegar as long as you don't put that much on, balsamic even. And this is called Bramasol. It's extra virgin olive oil and it's cold pressed in Italy. It's really good. You don't even need to add salt to it if you're like dipping bread in it for dinner. You don't even need to add salt because it's already really salty because olives are supposed to be green. So this olive oil is green. So like when you go to a grocery store and you buy olive oil, it's yellow. This is green because olives are supposed to be green. So if you can ever get this shipped in from Italy, I would. It's expensive. You can probably get it on Amazon. It's called Bramasol, Bramasole, but it's really, really good. Yeah, so we're just going to put that on top of the bread, finish cooking our egg, and then you'll see it. So yeah. So the heat is still on because I was talking to you guys. So I'm going to finish cooking our egg on here, which is practically already cooked because I set it away. Yeah, and then I'm going to show you the accoutrement of the sandwich. You can do many variations on this sandwich. Like last time, my mom bought some really nice fire roasted tomatoes that were very delicious, and I put that on the sandwich. It's basically the same, except it has a really nice Italian flavor. And then you could also do like feta cheese, especially with omelets. Feta and goat cheese are the best. So here we go. I'm going to try and flip it over here. You're going to watch. Or you're going to try and see if you can watch. So what you want to do is I'm pretty sure you just kind of sling it forward and then pop it up, I guess. So it's like, wait, let me try. It kind of takes a few times. Go. Yeah, it's not working, so since I took it off the heat for a while, it doesn't want to flip, but usually it does. So I'm just going to use the spatula, like I said, in case it wouldn't flip. And I don't know about you, but I really like my eggs broken when I'm cooking like the egg white with it, like usual. I break the yolk, and then it drips off. It's just one of my favorite things. My mom likes over easy eggs. I like over medium, and then somebody chops the egg with a spatula or a knife, and that's really good. So the eggs are going to just sit there for a little while, because I got to go show you this. So I'm opening the toaster. It's a lot of steam, so I'm trying to move it out of the way. And then I grab our slightly toasted bread. Close this, and I'm going to show you it. So basically, it's all over the place right now because I had to put the bread on the plate and it's really big. So you grab your champagne vinegar. You try not to destroy it through the bread, but you want to like have an even coating on there. And it should immediately soak through because it's a vinegar. So put that on there and then put a nice good serving of olive oil. And if you're not able to get this cold pressed amazing green olive oil, which is how it's supposed to be, like I said, you can use regular cooking olive oil, like even from Costco and stuff like that, and it should be fine, but it's better with this one, I would say. But you can also like put oregano on here and spices and all that stuff, but I'm going for really simple. So I've got lettuce, my bib lettuce, I've got my pepper jack cheese, I've got my onions that I did not cook, I just chopped, sliced them really, kind of. So they're kind of annoying because when they are sliced, they break apart a lot. So just be patient with it. Then eventually you should get it all on there like that. So now we have this. And now we're going to go over to where the egg is, which is over here. Right there. And then we're going to, like this, we're going to take the egg, and if you are uncomfortable like this, you can use a spatula. And since I cut it in half already, it should be 2 nice layers of yellow egg, because it's just the egg yolks. And then it should look like that. And then you can put a top on, you can cut it in half, which I'm going to. Sometimes I like to, sometimes it's really nice to have the egg already cut, but you don't need to, because if you're cutting the sandwich in half, it should cut just fine. I would use a slightly serrated knife, just depending on the bread you have. Don't use a butter knife, that will take a lot more force, and this is way easier. Hey guys, this is our little agility part of the video. I'm going to be teaching you how to do a front flip, and I'm going to teach you the basic types, and also the fear of getting over a front flip, because technically when you try them on the ground, which we're not going to do today because I'm not sure if you're ready to try something that much harder, because it takes much more practice. This you could probably get in about a half hour, probably less. So yeah, I'm just going to teach you the types of front flips I know on the trampoline, and I'm also going to show you like some tips for getting over the fear of doing one. So, and some life advice for you is that if you are scared to get over your fears, you should be, because that's why you're scared of them. So, don't be afraid to face your fears and talk about them with other people to help get them over with. So, if you need help in the comments, you can leave a comment and ask me for extra advice, and I can tell you. So for a front flip, a few things that might be helpful to do it, and this is just going to be on the trampoline. So a few things that might be helpful could be a roll, like a somersault, and I think somersaults can be easier on the trampoline sometimes because they give you a little more bounce, so then your neck doesn't get hit. But just depending on which type you do, it might be easier or harder. So then I can also do the safety roll. If you can do that and the somersault, you should be in pretty much good shape. And now I'm going to show you the skill. If you can thrust your arms forward, like see them up, yeah. If you can thrust them forward and put your head forward, you should be fine. So first, I'm going to execute a low bounce front flip. So you can bring your legs in to do it, but you don't have to. And you can tuck also. So this is the tucked version of the front flip. You just want to let go of your legs before you land, because then you'll keep going and end up doing a second flip, and that would look like this. So yeah, actually I just did that on purpose, but if you kept tucking, you would like roll a little bit on the ground, it might hurt. So that's how you do a tuck front flip, and a regular front flip is like really however you want it to be. Okay, now I'm going to teach you something that I've been working on. I call it, well, it doesn't really have a specific name. So for an air walkover, I haven't quite gotten it down yet, but I'm pretty close. Some skills that are definitely useful are a walkover and a front handspring. The difference between a walkover and a front handspring is you can run and do a walkover, but if you do a front handspring, it's going to be your legs are together, but your legs are going to start out, it's going to be kind of hard to show you, but okay, this is my right leg, this is my left. So you're going to have, if you're right hand dominant, or right foot, or however you want to call it, put your right foot in front, your left foot behind, and they don't even have to be, they can be like, probably about a foot away from each other, maybe less. You just jump up and down, keep your feet like that, and then you just jump forward like you're doing a handstand, but you do it fast. And you end with your feet in the air together and then on the ground. It's much easier on a trampoline because a front handspring is really in the name. You have to have a lot of spring, so you use blocking. So for an air walkover, you basically want to do the same thing, but you never put your hands on the ground, so you want to get your head and your arms kind of like tucked in like this, as close to the ground, and then flip over. But I'm not that good at it yet, so. So like that's the one leg over and then the other one like a walkover. But I haven't gotten like the spring, like the cool look of it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it can be demonstrated in a video by 7 gymnastics girls, where this girl's auditioning for to get into a play or something. And then you can also see it in the chandelier video by Sia, when Maddie runs into the corner, then turns around, then she runs forward and puts her hands like right above the ground. They don't touch it, and her legs come over, and it's really cool looking. So, if you really want to break down a front flip, what it really is you're just going to jump up, and you don't want to jump forward, but you can. If you wanted to do I call it a long flip, you just cover a lot of distance. It's kind of like a dive roll, but you're in the air. You can do that too. They're much harder to control because you can over-rotate or under-rotate. So I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest being in the middle of the trampoline with the most bounce, because that's where most of the spring is. Jump straight up, go as high as you need to. Like you could go that high, or you could go like this high. Just whatever feels comfortable, and like just use it as needed for you. So when you're jumping, you want your arms to be up if you want it to be easier, and you just kind of sling them forward to bring you over. And your legs might naturally tuck, they might not. So if you wanted to do like a front flip layout, which your legs are flat, I can't quite do it yet. I can do a front flip pike, which you're flat until the end, and then your legs kind of are together and drop down. So that would look like this. So I'm not that good at it yet, but that's a front flip pike. And those are like the flat ones that you see people doing, if you've ever seen anybody do it. They're really cool looking, especially if you add a rotation, which I haven't tried that yet. But front flip, you're slinging your arms forward, and you're being sure to jump up and not forward, because then it's harder. So that's a breakdown of a front flip, and here are some variations. So you could do like maybe something like this. I'm going to do a back flip and then a front flip. The hard part about that is when you're doing the back flip, no matter how fast you do it, the front flip, you will want to feel like you want to rotate more. You have to try and stop yourself like I did right there before you over-rotate and get hurt. Well, you can get hurt. I haven't gotten hurt from it though. So here's what would it look like. What it would look like if you over-rotate. Now, sort of. It's not just a reenactment, but it's pretty accurate. So those are some front flips. Some other variations is if you can learn the semi-air walkover, you could try that, then do a backflip from it, which I think I can do. Or you could just do a tucked or untucked regular front flip, and then do the backflip. That was a gainer, by the way, if you couldn't tell. It was either an in-place backflip or a gainer, I couldn't really tell. So, yeah, that's how you do some front flips. Some key things to know is that to get over the fear, you need to be confident in yourself. You should be able to do a somersault and possibly a safety roll. Those are pretty helpful. You just need to jump high, like keep watching other videos to help you get over the fear. It's really quite simple once you get it. I would suggest that if you can already do a backflip, this will be really hard for you, because my friend, when he learned a backflip when he was like probably 6, and then he tried to do a front flip last summer, he couldn't do it. He couldn't like come up in his mind to be able to do it, or he would under rotate, or he would like freak himself out. You would be surprised about how many people can get freaked out in the air when they're doing a stunt. So like, for example, if I freak out doing an aerial, which are, by the way, I haven't told you this yet, but it's better to learn stunts on the ground before on the trampoline, but I feel like it's possible for you to be able to do either. But if you're doing a regular front aerial and you stop focusing in the middle of it, you can fall. So I'm going to try and do that. So if you stop focusing, you'll get hurt, but if you keep your focus, it should be pretty much perfect. So just be aware of that. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's kind of a lot to absorb all those front flips, but just try and find the one that works for you. Just remember the air walkover, the front handspring, and the walkover are a little bit more advanced because it's really all on the foot placement. One foot higher, the other foot a little bit lower will give you that kind of one foot over than the other rotation. So, yeah, those are all the front flips I got for you today. But if you need help with something, you can leave a comment. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, especially if it helped you. Even if it didn't, you should like it anyway. And thank you for watching.